Well, because we are getting a contract with this TV company and they want all AEW product to be on their channel and their channel alone. We have to now cut ties, and it starts to change up some of the original core values that you were talking about that made it such an attractive company to watch, support, and be a part of.
They let workers go work independent shows. They let people do other things. It wasn't the exclusivity things. I mean, for fuck's sake, at one point in time, John Moxley was going to GCW every 2 weeks and doing ape shit there.
Right.
And now we can't. I hope everyone becomes friends
along the way. Bill,
what?
Should we do assignments?
Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Bill, where did I take you this week?
Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know where you took me technically. Like, I really cannot think of like where it was. Shit. It was Backlash 2004. WWE presents Backlash 2004. It was almost like an arena that looked familiar, but I can't think of what it was. It was for the Intercontinental Championship. Okay. Where was it, Doug?
Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Oh shit! It was in Edmonton. Okay, that might be why it looked familiar-ish to me, because I was just like it seemed familiar, and because it's where the Oilers play, and I've watched hockey before. The one asshole group is not allowed near the ring, and it's false count anywhere. Hardcore match between Build. It was Mick Foley, the challenger, versus Intercontinental Champion Randy Orton, and then there was a big switcheroo.
Who came out?
Cactus Jack came out.
Oh, man.
The second skinniest Cactus Jack I've ever seen in my life came out. He was only skinnier back in 85 when he was Cactus Jack Manson. And he got his jaw broken by the Dynamite Kid. Yeah, it was his first WWF show. So this is supposed to be the magnum opus. This is supposed to be Foley's best match, according to Foley himself.
Yeah.
I stayed away from that match because it was either going to be the greatest match that Foley has ever done, and I would have to then associate it with Randy Orton, or I was going to be extremely disappointed.
Yeah.
Doug?
How do you feel now, Bill?
Somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Of those extremes.
That's fair. That's kind of
closer to the great match side. I would say it's probably a top 15 maybe for Foley.
Okay.
In all honesty, it might be Randy Orton's greatest match. In all fucking honesty,
I could see that,
because Randy. I mean, here's the deal. Mick was Mick. He did almost all the Mick things, except for he didn't slam his hip into concrete. Yeah. Like that was that, and like it was a good hardcore WWE match. Blood, thumbtacks, jumping off the stage. What else is a normal thing? The flimsy trash can. There was no kendo stick.
No kendo sticks. There's a lot of barbed wire.
The barbed wire looked fucking great. That barbed wire board looked fucking great. Like AEW's bullshit barbed wire boards looked nothing like that thing.
Yeah, this one looked hefty.
If it was the really thin barbed wire, they at least spooled it so it looked real thick and heavy, right?
Yeah, there's so much of it.
Yeah, so it looked really good. Really wanted to see Randy Orton get hit with a flaming baseball bat. Right.
You got to see Eric Bischoff.
Yeah. But I really didn't have a problem with that. Like I really I thought it was smart. It helped reestablish Foley as the guy who's always going to do the right thing by the fans. I liked it. I really wish Sacco never came into play at all. Like I like the spot where Foley pulls out Sacco and then he looks at Darby.
Yeah.
And then he's like, and he does the thing of like, no, I need to get rid of this garbage, which being Sacco, and because I'm out to kill.
Right.
But the fact that Sacco comes back was kind of, I didn't like that. Randy fucking Randy, I'm going to give all the credit to the world for Randy in this one. He did not shy away from any of it.
Right. He was the first person into those thumbtacks. He took the barbed wire to the forehead.
He went into the board.
Yeah.
Real briefly. Like, I mean, he did it. He was good. I think in the end, my biggest complaint about it was it just felt so WWE to me. The whole thing just felt very produced. It was such a controlled chaos. Does that make sense?
So that's what I've been waiting to kind of contribute was,
yeah,
it wasn't your unhinged Mick Foley deathmatch type of match. It was a very controlled, well choreographed, hardcore match.
Mm-hmm.
It was all planned out. He still got his spots. It looked good, but it wasn't that like shit coming out of anywhere. You don't know what's gonna happen. Like,
yeah, it was
predictable, but I mean, it was well done. It was really good. But you're used to, fucking Terry Funk and Mick Foley in Japan. Like, who knows what the fuck's gonna happen?
Yeah, where they're calling. Well, they're calling it on the fly. They're calling it based on fan reactions. They have a couple ideas of what they want to do. They have a couple spots in mind, right? And they're going to go through those spots, but they're going to make it work with how the flow works. And while this was to me, and when you said choreographed, I kind of like, but it kind of is like it's literally we're going to go A to B, C to D. There might be a little bit more improv in between those points, but it didn't seem like there was a lot. It didn't seem that it really let either one of them do what they needed to do, or not needed to do, or just what they could show other than spot A, spot B, spot C. It just it was telling such a straight line story that it just really kind of threw things off. Like it just felt too, I mean, like you said, choreographed, even though I don't like that term.
No, for sure.
But yeah,
I get it.
It's
just felt, kind of,
it just felt very sterile. Sterile. That's what I want to say.
I think in the end, it worked well for a 23-year-old Randy Orton.
Oh, it was great for Randy. It was great for Randy. And in the end, Mick hanging his hat on that, what did Mick do? He took a young kid and elevated him. While at the same time not losing a damn thing. He lost the match, but who cares about losing the match if you do everything you can and it just didn't go your way, right? That is what Mick has done best. This is my feeling on everything I know about Mick and everything I've read. And so this is my analysis of Mick. This isn't anything I don't think he has said personally. He went into wrestling knowing that he wasn't a body guy. And when he went to wrestling, that's all you can do was be a body guy. So he went in as a guy who is going to be a good hand. In other words, he's going to be able to take everything that you give him. And in doing so, he's going to be a job guy, for the most part. Right. And eventually he's always said that it was his girlfriend at the time, now wife of Jesus forever years. Colette told him one time while they were dating, because she had never watched wrestling before, that it was that you need to get you are really good at getting everyone over or, making it about them. But you need to get your stuff in too. You need to make sure you look good in doing that, or you're not going to have a career in this. And that was like right before, that was like when he was in USWA, I think. And right before he went to WCW, and he's, that's where he really personified, like, yeah, I will do these insane things and you will beat me, but you're going to have to beat me within an inch of your life, or an inch of, I'm going to take you to the limit, and you're still going to beat me, and it's going to be great. And we go and we continue to do. And he's made so many fucking people doing that. he helped Austin. Austin was already on a huge trajectory, but his feud with Mick as Dude Love helped out insanely well. If it wasn't for Mick, I said this before, if it wasn't for Mick, Undertaker would have eventually just faded away. I truly, like, the Undertaker gimmick would have gone because everyone was just like, okay, I'm tired of this spooky shit. But Mick elevated Taker to being a worthy competitor and one that should be feared.
Is there a specific feud or match? Is that before Hell in a Cell?
Oh, well before, yeah. So
well before, okay.
So like what they used to do with Undertaker, and they did this fucking forever after his initial run, was people they realized that, well, Taker's, he's a face. People like him. He's a big guy. He moves real fast. He has good athleticism. So what we'll do is we'll just bring in giants. We'll do the old Hulk Hogan role, and we'll bring in giants to face him. Hence the reason why WrestleMania 9, Giant Gonzalez, absolutely one of the worst fucking matches ever, is there. Like, we're just going to continue to bring these huge fucking people in. We'll bring in Kamala. Not Kamala. Kama. We'll bring in Kama. Well, shit, I think he even went up against Kamala. Like,
was that SummerSlam that? Oh no, he definitely had Kamala matches.
Yeah, he had Kamala matches. He had Kama matches. We'll bring these big guys to go up against him, and then he'll eventually win. These guys never really took him to the limit, though. And the whole idea for McMahon bringing Mick in was to bring him up against Taker but Mick wasn't going to be. He's not a giant. Mick's a big guy. I think at the time, he was 6'4", maybe 6'5", and Mick's a huge guy in general, but he's not, 6'10". Right. But the whole idea for Mankind was brought in specifically by Paul Bearer to destroy the Undertaker. Same gimmick, the same angle they've done before. But the matches that Mankind did with him, and Mick's ability to actually give a promo and really kind of invest people's interest into it, other than big guy go against the big guy who's a devil zombie guy, and devil zombie guy going to win. Like, Mick was able to turn it into something more. Like, the people point to the Boiler Room Brawl. I can't remember what pay-per-view it is, but it's in Milwaukee. That's all I can tell you. And that's kind of the one that kind of elevated. But they had so many matches in between. And King of the Ring 98, that was a goddamn throwaway match. Like, going into it, there was like almost zero build for that match. They just needed something to do. And like, I remember when I was watching it at live, and I'm just like, obviously the pay-per-view live, but like the build-up, and they're like, oh yeah, Taker's gonna wrestle Mankind in Hell in the Cell. And I was just like, why? Because like they didn't really have anything for Mick at the time. They didn't have anything for Taker, so they just decided to throw it together. And then that elevated both of them to the fucking moon. Triple H would be nothing without fucking Mick. The Rock would be nothing. Well, yeah, I would say The Rock wouldn't be anything without Mick. You have 3 of the largest personas, and now with Orton, 4 of the largest personas in WWE history, and none of them would be around without Mick. So,
because he gave him such a huge push with such a formidable opponent.
Yeah.
Did everything right.
Mick was able to make them look like formidable, like people who deserve their place.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that was a long Mick diatribe.
It was. I enjoyed it.
How did you like it, Doug?
It was good, Bill. I think I kind of summed up what I felt like. It's not the typical unhinged Mick Foley that you see, but it was good. Like, he was very solid, got in his stuff, made it all look good for where they were 2004 WWE. Like, yeah. Bill, where did you take me this week? Wait, I should answer that. Bill. This week, you took me back in time to March 5th, 2016. Beautiful Reseda, California. PWG All-Star Weekend 12, Night 2. PWG World Championship. We had that real piece of shit, Roderick Strong.
Roderick Strong
Defending his championship against Zack Sabre Jr.
Not a piece of shit at the time.
Not a piece of shit.
Usually a giant piece of shit.
Yeah. I mean, watching him wrestle, he
does the same shit.
He definitely had some piece of shit tendencies.
Yeah, he's definitely a piece of shit. He just changed his trunks from white to black, and now we don't like him. It's as simple as that. Just wear black trunks. People don't like you.
So my big takeaways is I don't know much. I didn't know much about Roddy at this time, but it didn't take long to collect that he was a real piece of shit.
A piece of shit.
Yep. He was a heel. It took like 5 minutes before the match started of just, I mean, the fans are already, fuck you, Roddy, and he was soaking it in and loving it.
Mm-hmm. The fans.
Just one of my big takeaways. What's that?
The fans loved to hate him.
They love to hate Roddy.
Roderick Strong.
Roderick Strong has a hell of a fucking dropkick.
Roderick Strong is really good at wrestling.
Yeah. He hit that dropkick at least on 2 different occasions where he barely got Zack Sabre Jr. in the head. He was jumping so high, like it was just like beautiful. And
then he had that one single leg drop kick, that weird kick that looked like I ain't never seen that before. That was fucking great. Yeah. Anyway, continue. Yeah, I agree.
That was awesome. Fucking Zack Sabre Jr. Like I don't know like his title history that much, but like I'm glad they put the title on him. Mm-hmm. But has he had a heavyweight champion or world championship at like a
I think he has like
level?
He's had it depends on what you call a bigger level.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I guarantee you he was probably the Rev Pro champion.
Right.
Which that definitely has some merits. I mean, he just got the strong open weight, which I would say is less than probably the Rev Pro or the PWG belt.
Well, when I'm thinking about say New Japan, like you're giving it to Ospreay, Jay White, people like that, like they're good, they're great. Why not Zack Sabre Jr.? Like watching him like in that match alone, it's like he's just really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way he can manipulate a body part is just insane.
Yeah.
How creative he is in his limb manipulations. Like he took apart the knee, ankle, elbow, shoulder, wrist. Like
like Hero and Excalibur were like listing like what is damage, like the damage levels of each body part of Roderick Strong, like throughout the match. Which I would tell you, having Chris Hero and Excalibur during a Zack Sabre Jr. match was really nice to have.
For sure.
Hero's an encyclopedia, and it's not like Excalibur's not, but like having them both there, that was a great commentary crew for both those wrestlers, honestly. But yeah, going back to his manipulation's ridiculous.
Some other people can do it, but nowhere near what he was doing.
No.
Like you've seen Danielson do it to an extent. Pete Dunne.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyone that's trained in that British style, I mean, not even, it's the British submission style, has that ability.
In my notes, I have holy socks.
Yes. The sock.
The sock thing was fun.
That match, first of all, I looked at it. I was like, oh, shit, 40 minutes. That was a quick 40.
Yeah. That was like a little 15-minute, like that's what it felt like.
Yeah, it was a quick 40. But that was almost to me one of those perfect PWG matches, because even though the crowd got annoying at certain parts. Sometimes they were really super into it, and it helped. The sock situation was funny. You know, the crowd shouting "shitty little sock" because "shitty little boots" was a nickname that Chuck Taylor gave Roddy at
Was it?
PWG.
Okay.
Yeah, so "shitty little boots." Shitty little boots is a Chuck Taylor thing.
Okay, so I was gonna wonder where that came from because they kept yelling at him, "shitty little boots."
Yeah.
So eventually, Roderick Strong just takes off his boot and then pulls up his ankle sock, which is actually turns into like
a crew sock or
calf sock.
Yeah.
Like it goes up a little more. Zack Sabre Jr. takes off his boots and pulls up what looks like calf socks that go like all the way up his knee.
Yeah, he's wearing knee highs.
So, you know, then they're already 25 minutes in. So then they're both limping around one boot for 10 minutes more. Like you said, it was an overall just great PWG match when you think of either, okay, great serious wrestling or some fun comedy spots, crazy crowd. It just kind of brought everything in, let them rest, but still like entertained without just sitting there for 10 minutes with a
wrestle.
Headlock.
It wasn't fucking CM Punk Samoa Joe, the greatest match ever, where it's just rest hold for fucking 5 minutes. No, what I liked about that match was that every move that was done, whether it be a punch, an uppercut, a chop, a gut buster, you know, whatever was done, all manipulations that Sabre Jr. did, everything that they did meant something. It meant something, and you could tell. It's a bad comparison, but it's the only comparison I have, and it's not necessarily a bad comparison. It felt like a big match, Kings Road style match where, it felt like it's not the same match, but it felt like Misawa and Kobashi, where everything that they did had a reason, had a purpose. The pacing was right there. They're both they both know that they can't, in respect to their opponent, that they can't just do a million things real quick and then win, because they both know that they're both athletes. They both know that they have great cardio. They both know that they can do this, they can do that, and that they're going to have to eventually wear each other down. And they have each way, and both of them have different ways of doing it. Roddy with his just mini power, or whatever the hell that Roddy has, and Sabre with his, I'm just going to literally break every joint in your body to the point where you're just going to have to eventually give up when I wrap you in 14 different ways for one submission. You were watching the closest thing to a real simulated fight.
And where I see the similarities to a Kings Road style match, some of those bigger ones we've watched, is because your opponent is so good, you can't just wrestle for 10 minutes and then hit your finisher and pin them. Like you have to bring more. You have to break down every part of their body. So when you put this finisher on and it doesn't work, you have to transition to this and this. And for that fucking finish where he had both arms captured in a submission as well as both legs, so he had all four limbs captured in submissions, and Roderick Strong had no choice at that point to tap out.
Yeah, it was so good. Well, how did you like the match, Doug?
I loved it, Bill. It was good.
Of the two matches, I like this one so much more. I just did, which is
I mean,
it makes me upset to say that, but I'm fine with it.
They're both very different. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying you like this, even in consideration that Mick Foley is your favorite or one of your favorites of all time. It doesn't take anything away, in my opinion, by saying that Zack Sabre Jr.'s Roderick Strong match was better. Like, it's just way different. Yeah,
it depends on what you like, and I can tell you the difference between the two. The reason why I like the difference, and I'm sure if you're listening, you've already figured it out. But it was a situation where Randy and Mick, A to B to C to D. Like there's no improvisation. There's no feeling things out. We're just gonna go through this. Everything in the Roddy Zack Sabre Jr. match felt like it was improvised. Like it felt like they were fighting. It felt like they were like they had ideas in their head. They already knew what they were going to do, but getting to those points felt it was flowy. It just made sense. Like they were feeling everything out. They were feeling out the crowd. They were doing just everything really, really well. And that's why I liked it.
Nice, Bill.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, who wants to go first on next week?
I'll go first on next week.
Okay, Bill.
Doug.
Bill.
I am going to take you to what I believe is Tokyo, Japan. Ooh. Cannot remember the name of the arena. It could be Budokan. It could be. However, I'm not sure. So we'll just leave it at that. I can tell you though, it is June 17th of 2007.
Okay.
The promotion is Hustle. The event, Hustle Aid 2007. This is the match of the Great Muta with RG versus Yingling and Tajiri.
Okay. I don't know a lot of what you just said, but I like it. Who's the Great Muta with?
RG.
Okay.
He's a wrestler.
Okay.
Doug, do you remember anything about the Hustle promotion?
No. Was that Tajiri's?
Nope, not Tajiri's. Nope, not Muta's.
No, I don't remember anything about Hustle.
Okay.
Not going to set it up. Just let me find out.
So here's what I'm going to do. You need to watch that match. And then as soon as you watch that match, I will send over a really great, like 25-minute recap of the Hustle promotion to you.
Okay. I'm not going to look anything up about Hustle beforehand. I'll just watch the match.
Yes.
And then we'll dig into it.
Yes. I've had this one in my back pocket for 2 months, maybe 2.5 months.
Okay.
I've been wanting to give this one to you for a long time.
I kind of have a feeling where it popped up. And if so, oh man. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
I could be wrong.
What's funny too is I have another Hustle match that's in my back pocket too, but it's might be completely different than the one that I'm giving you right now. Because Hustle's a thing, man.
Is it a thing?
It's a thing. Like I really can't wait to give you the other video that explains the history of Hustle, because it's so much more than I thought it was, and I was blown away by some of the facts that I did not know. So anyways,
okay, Bill. Well, I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Hustle.
All
right, Bill. This week, guess where I'm taking you, Bill?
Tokyo, Japan?
Nope.
Mexico City, Mexico?
Bill, we are going back June 13th, 2009. Mexico City, Mexico.
All right.
Triple Mania 17.
Okay. This is is this after our like, we're sorry, we're trying not to be racist?
Yeah, so I was trying to I'm going to find someone that's not L.A. La Parca.
L.A. La Parca? Who's L.A. La Parca?
L.A. La Parca.
That is not part of the family tree at all, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, it was almost L.A. Park versus La Parca, but I'm like, nope.
I would have done it.
I know. It's going to be done at some point.
Oh, yeah.
But for what I was trying to do is just find two names I wasn't familiar with.
Oh, God.
Well, okay, I'm sort of familiar with one. So we got Dr. Wagner Jr.
Okay.
And this is for the AAA Heavyweight Championship, and he's going against El Messias.
Okay. El Messias. I don't know if El Messias.
Me neither. Well, I was just trying to find something to...
Maybe
introduce us to some people
something that was not overtly racist or completely in our own little echo chamber of only watch WCW cruiserweights.
Bill,
what?
How do you feel?
Tell me, how do you feel?
About what?
Bill, how do you feel about Harlem Heat?
Harlem Heat was sensational. Sherry was fucking awesome. I loved the vinyl pants and the weird little ring hoop that they would wear for their little spandex.
Mm-hmm.
Stevie Ray was a big oaf. Fucking Booker T, fucking always phenomenal.
Was really, that's when he was definitely becoming a star.
I remember I watched like an early Harlem Heat match, and it was like 80s, and they were rough. But I mean, when we started getting back in, or when we started really watching WCW, 96, 97, they were fucking great.
Right.
Booker T was becoming a star. He was becoming a solo act. Like, I saw one of my favorite matches of all time, seeing live, is Booker T versus Benoit at Stampede 98. Yeah. Spring Stampede 98. Went to a time limit draw. I mean, it was fucking great. I love Harlem Heat and Sensational Sherry. I think she's really pretty. And she's a great fucking manager. Always had been.
For sure.
And
Harlem Heat's one of those tag teams that, in my opinion, when you think of greatest tag teams of all time, they might not be considered number one, but they're up there in the top, whatever list you want to list.
yeah,
name.
no, they're definitely mentioned within. If anyone even put them in a top 5 situation, I wouldn't begrudge them.
Like, okay, yeah,
Be like,
that's legitimate.
Yeah, you have your reason, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't know where I would put them, but it wouldn't be very far from top 5, probably top 10, top 15 would be my guess. But I love Harlem Heat. Like, I mean, Stevie Ray did nothing. Booker T was amazing,
Right.
but that's how some tag teams are. One guy's awesome, the other guy is not. So,
I hear you. Bill,
Ah.
how do you feel about Indus Shear?
Who?
I have no idea if
Was
I'm
that an
saying it
NXT?
right.
Was that an NXT person that got drafted?
So that is actually a faction that consists of
what?
Jinder Mahal and someone else
Oh,
that was called up.
don't hinder the gender.
He was called up from NXT for the draft belt.
He was in NXT.
Apparently, I saw like some little news article popped up. Stars that were brought up from NXT in the draft: Apollo Crews and Jinder Mahal.
Oh, well, I mean, good.
Poor little guys.
Good for gender. Into Sheer, the one Veer Mahan, he was that guy that like they kept on doing essentially the
I'm coming.
Yes, the
it's
Emma.
Been a long.
Yeah, you've been waiting me so long. Emelina. Yeah, they did the Emelina treatment too.
And did they ever debut?
They debuted him, and then it was just as good as Emelina because they're idiots. I love Jinder. I really do like Jinder. He got such an insanely bad rub by everything, but
yeah.
He
was funny in the house show.
Oh, he was great. Oh yeah, he's awesome. And like even when he had the world title, it's not his fault.
No.
Good. He did everything he could with it. Like, he was still like, I thought he was entertaining with it. I thought he had decent matches. Like, he wasn't bad.
Well, Bill, how do you feel about Nikola Jokic?
My man shows up in the prettiest shades of pink, does almost zero effort doing all the effort, and he always has a runny nose. And I'm here for it.
And his arms look like he got in a fight with a tiger.
Always. But that's what I mean by like the shades of pink. Like, throughout the game, he will always display a shade of pink. Jokic is great. I actually brought this up because I was doing a scorers table during my daughter's basketball game during the first game against the Suns, and I was working with another dad, and I told the other dad, I'm like, you know what though, it's not how well Jokic plays or how good of a game Jokic has. It's not even a good of a game Jamal Murray has. The key is how good of a game does Gordon have? Because if Gordon has a good game, the entire team will have a good game. And that's so anyway.
Yeah, because then everything else is in sync.
Everything
is passing, everything's moving.
Exactly. If you look at Gordon's numbers and Gordon is having a good game, like Murray can do what he did. What was it? Second game where he went like 0 for like 30, it felt like at one point in time. Gordon was still really solid.
Yeah, he was still holding in there.
Yeah, and so then everyone and then KCP shows up and like everything. Anyway, Nuggets are a fucking amazing team. They're a fun team to watch. They're insanely well coached. Mike Malone now has the record for most playoff wins as a Nuggets coach, which is weird. Yeah, I thought nice. It was that, but something you just don't think about. So anyway, it's a fun team to watch. The Suns suck. They're Kevin Durant sucks. CP3's
apart now.
CP3's garbage. I do like that Booker kid. He's good.
Yeah,
he's good. Super good.
Bill, we covered this briefly, but how do you feel about the house rules?
I am intrigued by it. I hope it doesn't fall flat on its face.
And I hope that they give it more than one chance.
And I hope it doesn't turn into just a constant battle between one team versus them.
Like if this was meant for the Acclaimed,
that's what it's going to be. It's going to be the Acclaimed, and I hope that the Acclaimed goes and they lose, and then another team comes up.
Right.
They need to make this right. They need to make this powerful. They need to make the belt something, and not just a reason to bring the Acclaim out every night. So,
Bill, how do you feel? Is Darby a hunk?
No.
What if you just look at the side that's unpainted?
Well, I was. So, Doug, you told me. Is he a hunk?
Well, apparently other people think so.
He's a good-looking guy. I want to call him a hunk, though.
I mean, he's not one of it's not. He's not a typical hunk that we would label.
But like he's like closer to like a Logan hunk, right? Like I mean, but Logan is a hunk. Like
for sure.
So here's the thing. This is the reason why Darby Allin is not a hunk in my mind. He looks like a bobblehead. His head and like his skinny little neck, like his head, like it's just disproportionate. If his head was smaller, maybe he'd be a hunk. He's a good looking guy. Do not fault him. But if I was to classify him as a hunk, he would maybe be half a wolf whistle.
Okay, I can live with that. Okay. Is there anything else, Bill?
Yeah, maybe there's some local shows coming up. It looks like this upcoming weekend, you got Renegade Championship Wrestling. So this is Saturday, May 13th. Mountain View Core Knowledge School in beautiful Canyon City, home of, well, it's not the home of, but it's kind of near the home of AP Supermax Florence, which is the home of Ted Kaczynski, personal hero of mine. We have also Central State Wrestling in Lenexa, Kansas. So just outside of Kansas City, Kansas, at the Lenexa, Kansas National Guard Armory. Central States Wrestling presents Aftershock. A lot of folks that we get to see here in Denver are over there. I know Dak Draper, Hoodie, and Anaya. One Commanders is going to be there too. Then we also have here in Denver, more importantly, Thornton, Colorado, at the beautiful Castle Event Center in beautiful Thornton, Colorado. New Era Pro Wrestling presents Spring Fling. You got Logan, who we mentioned earlier as a hunk, versus a different style of hunk in our boy Royce Isaacs. And we also have the return of Daddy Doom. I think I saw Heidi Howitzer on there.
Yeah,
I
so
believe I saw some other
that's
folks
gonna
as
be a
well.
4-way match. Daddy Doom, Heidi Howitzer, Jules, and Tyra.
Oh,
The
that's right.
first ever 4-way match in the women's division at New Era.
Cool. Yeah, and there's a dang good chance that we will be there, if not both of us, at least one of us.
Yeah.
Because for some reason I have this weird feeling I have a soccer game during that all of a sudden, which is cool. Because
Hey. Yeah, that sounds cool. Soccer. Sorry. There's one more match I was so excited I had to tell you about really quick.
Oh, tell me about it quick.
Okay. No, it's not your boy Duff Doyle. That's not the match.
Oh, is it his buddy? Kevin O'Hara or whatever his name is?
It's gonna be two other hunks. We're gonna have Bruce Rogers going against Austin Reddick.
Oh, Austin!
Oh yeah, buddy.
I haven't seen that. Where did you see that at?
It popped up like yesterday.
Okay, I must have missed it.
Got busy and didn't have a chance to retweet it out there or put it on the Facebooks.
On the Facebooks? No, I'm all for Bruce Rogers versus Austin Reddick.
Yeah.
Big fan of both those guys and super excited.
Oh, hell yeah, Bill.
Oh, you know what? Now I'm looking at it, Doug. As far as I can tell, I don't have a soccer game. I might have a basketball tournament, though.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. But yeah, Doug, it's also your birthday next week.
Oh, yeah. It's my birthday next week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work at 2 a.m.
Cool.
I'll come home and probably take a nap. That's what I do.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, you know the one thing I am excited for on my birthday is watching a steel cage match with Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley.
Oh yeah,
that sounds fun.
Could be fun. I don't think it's not going to be fun.
Right.
Till Chris Jericho comes in and be like, I want a part of this feud now too.
I've wrestled both of you.
And I am now the headmaster. That's what they call me, the headmaster now. Buy a shirt. Buy a really shitty made designed shirt.
You know what you should buy?
One
of the shirts that Bill has designed, and you can find those over at itsallprowrestling.com.
No.
6 amazing designs to choose from.
One of them you can't get right now because I'm changing it.
Well, in a couple days, take a look. They're beautiful.
No.
And then if you want, you can go over to Twitter at IA Pro Wrestling. You can also go to Instagram, Facebook. It's All Pro Wrestling. Bill, will you tell everyone else what else? Bill, will you tell everyone else what else they can look at now?
Well, Doug, they can look at walls. They can look at the sky. They can look at the ground. They can look at their dog. They can look at their cat. They can look at their family. They can also look at the YouTubes because I put some videos up on the YouTubes and we're going to be putting up videos on the YouTubes. It's All Pro Wrestling. Just search that. It's YouTube / at It's All Pro Wrestling. I think we'll pretend it is. I don't know. Go to the website. There's a little button. You click on our website. It's allprowrestling.com. There's a little YouTube icon. You click on that. I don't know, but it takes you there. We've done a couple reels that we've been putting on social media. Decided to finally put them up on YouTube as well as some other things. You'll also be able to have access to the podcast again because why not? Anyway,
why not?
Subscribe if you want. It'd be cool if you did.
I subscribed, Bill.
Well, no, you're good, Doug. So anyway,
we would love it if all you did too.
Another little venture that is just Biding my time until my eternal death.
It'll put meaning to me spending most of the local matches that we go to taking videos.
And not just
I
looking like a
taking
creep.
videos. Yeah. Because I have bad timing when I try to take videos sometimes.
Specifically of one wrestler.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's never on purpose.
No, you're not. I mean, you're a pervy, but you're not pervy.
Not a pervy.
You are pervy. Like,
shit.
No, it's the whole clown's den thing. Like, I can't get that out of my head.
Oh.
Like, just the deep breathing. Like, that's all you did.
And if you want to hear that, listen to it every week in the podcast.
Oh, see,
apparently I have a sinus infection issue, or I don't know.
Didn't you have your sinuses taken out?
I did when I was like 18.
Yeah. Why are you so stupid with it?
I have no idea. I blame my dad.